devastating. How about a little monster? She's been doing phenomenal in the UFC, 5-3 in the UFC, does a lot of stuff, a lot of content with shows and podcasts and commentary. Can't wait to talk to her. Welcome her back on the show, Vanessa Demopoulos. What's up, Vanessa?
What's going on, you guys? How is everybody today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you so much. I'm right in between training sessions right now, but I made time for you guys because all love in the hood.
Love it. I appreciate it. Where are you joining us from Vegas then?
Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas right now. I train at the Performance Institute full time. And thankfully I live like really close. So it's nice to be able to be in between training sessions and like run home real quick and then go back and train some more. Yeah, it's a full-time thing for sure.
I got to say, Dave, every time we're in Vegas for one of Grant's fight weeks, the person I see the most at the PI is definitely Vanessa. She is always there working around the clock.
They should build me my own little room there, that would just be so perfect.
If they would build you a dorm, would you just move in?
Unfortunately, yeah. So it's probably good that they don't.
Yeah. Sometimes you need that space. You need that buffer. You need to get away to get back and all that stuff. But very excited to have you on. 5-3 strawweight fighting April 5th, I believe, back at the Apex versus a younger fighter. She's 1-1 in the UFC. How did that matchup come to be, and how excited are you to fight at the Apex? To try to get back on the winning side.
Yeah, no, I mean, fucking back on the winning side, right? Because I feel like I never actually lost that last fight, right? In my mind, I'm still on a win streak, right?
Okay.
Because that girl, she fucking cheated. She got caught in 4K cheating. Everybody acknowledges it. Even the commission has told me to my face, we acknowledge that you got wrongly fouled. It was really terrible, but they can't overturn the decision. And right. I'm like, why? Why can't you make this just a no contest? Please. You can see that I got cheated. And they're like, there's nothing we can do. It was the ref's discretion. And the ref obviously is blind. And so that's okay. That's okay. We're going to move on to the next.
It's pretty wild. And I know you said move on. I'm sorry that I'm doing this, Vanessa. I completely agree with you, though. If we have major technology, even if the commission's saying it to you, it's like, guys, we all sometimes make mistakes. We can do stuff. We can go back and get refunds. I can order something on Amazon. Doesn't fit me. I refund, get my money back. Why can't they make the right decision? I don't understand that.
I think because they have to admit that human error is a true thing. And that if they admit human error, then that means that they have to open up this can of worms and look at all these past fights and past potentials that they have to overturn and things like that, and I don't understand why my hands have to be tied because they don't want to be at fault for this, but that's okay. Right. That's okay. We are going to continue to whoop some fucking ass, right? And in my mind, I'm still on that win streak. I'm still that bitch. I'm still on top of the world, and we're going to continue to fucking keep dominating. That's how I feel.
It definitely is. Keep the energy, girl. Keep the energy. It's definitely very difficult to overturn just about anything, and it's an issue with commissions, I'll admit. So it's I agree. I think it's very difficult for them to admit when mistakes are made and to take accountability. I think we run into that problem with judging a lot, but we won't get too into that just yet. I want to talk about this next matchup. So I've actually trained. I train currently with Jackie, and I have trained before with Talita. So I know how incredibly high level both their jiu-jitsu is. So I'm interested to hear your take on this next matchup against another. You yourself are a high level jiu-jitsu practitioner. You're fighting yet another high level jiu-jitsu girl. And how are you looking at this matchup? How do you think it could be similar to your last matchup, and how do you think it differs?
I mean, I think it's the same exact opponent, but a little bit different, it's the same opponent, different person. And actually, funny enough, Talita and I used to train together back in 2011 to 2014, on and off in the gi. Back when I was a white belt and she was a blue belt, we both came from GF team. So we both have the same jiu-jitsu pedigree and background. She continued doing a lot of the gi stuff and a lot of the jiu-jitsu stuff, where I went to submission only and then started doing a lot more MMA stuff. So, but we did kind of rise together when it comes to jiu-jitsu and how we came about. So I'm very familiar with Talita, and I think it's very interesting that they matched me up with her for her stage of her career. But listen, I was definitely willing to sign the dotted line, and I'm super excited for this fight matchup.
Yeah. Win bonus, maybe a finish bonus. Hey, the money adds up for sure. Vanessa, I love seeing everything else you do, even outside the octagon. Stuff for UFC Fight Pass and stuff for JITS competitions and podcasts and stuff. How much do you love that side of the game? And do you foresee in 5 years, 3 years, 8 years, whenever you maybe are done inside the octagon, would you love to do kind of that side full time?
Listen, I love fighting, right? And like the same way that we're all sitting here like talking about fighting and we're also practitioners, you guys are doing this. This is something that like I love to do. I love to actively fight. I love talking about fighting. I love watching fights. You want to pay me to talk about fighting? Let's go. That's like there's nothing more exciting than that for me. So to be able to have the opportunity to do things like commentating and reporting, I also love watching people shine. And I think that's so important for me, like to be the athlete and know when it's my moment, and then to be able to give that opportunity to other athletes that maybe don't recognize that they have that moment. And as a reporter, when I'm in that position, I get to ask them questions and allow them to light up and give them the platform to shine and allow them to have that moment, because that moment is so important and that moment is so fleeting. And I want to be able to give them an opportunity and something that they can like not only look back on, but capitalize on. And I just love that. Like, I love everything about the fight game, not only actively being aggressive, but also helping other people. So it's like both aspects are really cool for me.
Real quick before you question now, dude, people are loving your background. Like, the clock is pretty cool. They go off topic, Vanessa. I love your bookshelf over your shoulder. People are loving your spot. Love it.
Thank you.
It makes me feel really self-conscious about my bare walls.
Come on, Elle. Come on.
Thank
I
you
gotta
so
decorate
much.
that.
Can we get some dump truck pictures behind you? What are we doing? All right.
I have a dump truck.
Yeah, whoop, whoop. We know she got a dump truck over there. Yeah, these are, I'm actually like, I'm a huge reader. Oh, you have a real dump truck.
Yeah. Massive.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm a huge reader.
Okay.
I love reading books. This is actually a book that I wrote. I've written like a few books, but this
You
is
wrote
the
a book?
only one that I've actually published. So.
I know about this book, Dave. This book is called The Stripper Bible. And I definitely, I know you've told your story a lot.
What?
But you've told your story. You were a homeless teen. You had issues with addiction. I know you've told this story before, but if you could just sum up for the fans that are watching live who haven't heard your story, just like how you got to where you are now, because it really is incredible.
Yeah, so I was like a stripper, like a real one. I'm an exotic entertainer. No, I was a stripper. All around the world, definitely all around the country. I literally would get flown in to different cities to teach these girls how to make money, how to hustle, mindset, also how to give lap dances. I was a competitive pole dancer around the country when pole dancing was like first hitting the scene. Back before it was like really cool the way it is now. Like it was super taboo back then. And I just always loved it. And I looked at like the athleticism, and that's actually how I was discovered as a fighter, because I was in the strip club and all the girls kept wanting to fight me. And the manager was like, if you put that same skill that you put towards the pole into something like fighting, you might do something with your life. And honestly, he was like kind of talking shit to me, but I was like, all right, teach me how to fight. And actually at this time, I know it's like really hard to imagine, but I had like a bunch of piercings. I had like 13 piercings all over. I had like my trachea pierced. And I had dreadlocks and like really bad attitude. So yeah, and then fighting like really humbled me and helped to keep me sober. I was like already wanting to start doing that, but like I quit doing absolutely everything cold turkey. I took fighting really seriously off the rip. I was training 3 times a day right away, and it really just like gave me something to hang on to, aside from a pole. And I kept fighting and dancing at the same time. And even like when I got into the UFC, I was still stripping. And it wasn't until I was getting ready for one of my fights, I was just like, you know what? I'm trading money for my dreams. And I quit dancing like 6 weeks before the fight, where I got knocked unconscious and did jujitsu unconscious, and then won a bonus and jumped into Joe Rogan's arms. So yeah.
Yeah, we have to talk about that too as well. Like a very iconic video. What was that the plan from the beginning? And how did you decide, like, I'm gonna jump into Joe Rogan's arms?
Yeah, that was my plan actually. I had like done it to my teammate. Like, okay, I mean, obviously, I feel like I love studying human behavior, and I'm like, Joe's a fucking cool dude. Like, he's totally going to accept this. I feel like he's gonna go with the moment. And he totally did. He vibed out with it. And like, there was a teammate in the gym, and I walked up to him and I put my arm on him, and then I placed my leg up, and he naturally just like went to go scoop it up. And then like I jumped on him and I was like, I'm gonna do this to Joe Rogan next week. And he's like, don't do that. He's like, please don't do that. I was like, oh, I'm doing it.
Oh, it's a thing now. You know, Bisping, it's a thing. It is for sure a thing.
Is there anybody who has told you they do not want you to jump into their arms post-fight?
No. And even like Laura Sanko was like, if I ever get to interview you, like this is happening.
I love
like
Laura.
we practiced.
Yeah.
I remember the one time I hit up Bisbing and I was like, hey dude, I've jumped into your arms twice now. I'll jump into my coach's arms instead to like keep you from having to sleep on the couch. Like, you have a very beautiful wife and I don't like, I'm not trying to get
her.
Yeah. And bless her heart, like I've met her a few times and she's the sweetest. I've met all of their wives except for Paul Felder's wife, but yeah, like everybody's really, really cool. Thankfully, everybody's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think, like I said, like it really is. It's a thing. I even think the fans look forward to it. Hey, when Vanessa Demopoulos wins, this is what we are wanting. It's a part of, you know, whatever the stick of fighting.
Yeah, fans actually pick me up all the time too. I just have to make sure that they're not going to drop me because I've been dropped before.
It's so funny you said that. I was out there. I was covering the Canelo fight. It was Mexican Independence Week, and it was for UFC Noche. And I actually saw you. You were with a friend. I'm trying to think of her name. And you were out there, you know, when it was Noche. Remember, it was like outside in front of the Sphere. I saw you out there. And me, I never want to, like, you know, mess with you or take any of your time. But so many people were coming up to you. Fans were coming up to you, taking pictures. And I saw you from afar. Like, you were so nice, Vanessa. Like, you said yes to everyone. You were very cool to people. And that just from afar, and someone in this space, I was like, dude, that was pretty awesome. Like, you didn't do that for the camera. No one saw it. I saw it from afar. And you were just super cool to a lot of the fans. I thought that was awesome.
Thank you for that. I really
of course.
love people,
I think it was,
you know?
was it Shauna?
Yeah.
Yes,
it
right?
was Shauna.
Okay.
Yeah, another UFC fighter.
Yes, I remember it. And like I said, I was there covering Canelo, but it was like the Noche thing was after one of his press conferences. It just worked out perfect. It was awesome. But I wanted to give you that kudos. You were phenomenal to the fans. That was cool. But real quick, back to fighting. The champion in your weight class, Zhang Wei Li, just had a great performance a couple weeks ago. There's talks of her moving up, maybe not. What you think about, one, the champion, and do you think she should move up maybe for that super fight with Valentina?
Oh my gosh, the champion. Yeah. What, like, Wei Li is a powerhouse. Like, that girl is something to be dealt with. Are you kidding me? The performance that she put on against Tatiana, and I love Tatiana. I see her almost every single day. And to me, like, Tatiana is like on this pedestal of like such a pedigree of an athlete, right? Like, her whole life has been athletics and wrestling. And for Wei Li to do what she did, how she did it, beyond impressive. I don't see anything for her in the strawweight division. Although she can make the weight, there's literally no challenge in this division for her. So I think there is nothing for her to do but to move up. Like, she's literally definition of somebody who's actually cleared a division.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and like there's nothing to be held back on for her moving up. You see a lot of times these athletes that are like bouncing around divisions, and it's like, there's so much left to do in your division, right? But she's one that there's no mistake.
I said Ilya.
Oh,
come on, right? Dude, he defended the belt once.
Yeah, like Dude,
I feel like rightfully defended the belt like once or twice, and he's like, okay, bye guys. Like,
I know. And like our argument, me and I think both have been on it. Like, one, there's Diego Lopez. Mosarv is literally undefeated in your division. You could have a rematch against one of those legends of Volk and Max. Like, it just seemed a little bit early, a little premature. Maybe you've seen that in your past line of duty. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, extremely premature of Ilya, I feel like, to move up. And even like with the Volk fight, right? Like, I feel like Volk was the second time that he got knocked out, like he had come back a little bit too soon.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
he was trying to be the superhero when he needed to heal. And I feel like he was already compromised walking into that. Yeah, there's just like, I mean, God's timing is always perfect. And I feel like he really has had a lot of like perfect storms to build this character. It's same thing with Islam Makhachev, right? Like these like short notice guys are just like coming in for an opportunity where Islam has been like beyond mentally prepared as a champion. And he's just getting to like storm through these guys. And it looks so freaking cool to the optics. But also, who are we truly challenging here? Because I feel like they're mashing things up appropriately, and then things are falling out, and the timing is just amazing for their trajectories.
I agree. Oh, anything else for Vanessa?
No, absolutely. I'm so glad we got to chat with about just your story and everything. Dave, I know Dave had a really great question for you that he wanted to ask you.
You want me to do the phone one?
Phone call. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
What?
This has been our thing, Vanessa, for like the last couple of weeks. So far, people like it. So it's 2:47 here on the East Coast. That means it's probably 11:47 in Vegas, 11:47 a.m. Right?
Yes.
Okay. If you had to make a phone call right now, and they had to answer, and if they answered, you would win $20 million. But if they don't answer this phone call, you would go to jail for a year. Who are you calling right now at 11:48 a.m.?
I don't know, man. Most of my friends don't answer right away. Like they're all so fucking busy.
I was gonna say, I know it's not Jason. I know it's not Jason.
You know what? Yeah, dude. Honestly, he answers quite a bit.
Yes, never.
You know what? Jacob answers.
Always answers. That's actually a good pick.
There we go.
Yes. And I do have a friend, Delon, who answers even if he's at work. He's like, oh my God, I'm at work. Do you need something? I'll call you back. Bye.
Yes. We all have that person. Yes. There we go.
Thanks, Dave.
We found them.
Dave's my number one call. He answers more than my own husband.
Your husband?
My husband doesn't even answer the phone most of the time, but Dave does.
I like that.
My go-to.
Good character.
Went the right direction there.
We're co-buddies for life. You know, we're attached for life. There we go. Dude, Vanessa, you were awesome. We are massive fans of you. We've been following your career for a while. Like I said, it was awesome to what you did over there and Noche and stuff. And like I said, I love what you're doing outside the cage, the podcasting and the commentary and all that stuff. So everything that you do, we watch, and we're just massive fans of you.
Wait. I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
I get interviewed all the time. This was actually like a lot of fun. Like, you guys just like flow and like have fun. And this was dope. This was dope.
Well, we appreciate that. Hey, guys. We would love to do this more often. We'll message you or we'll message through Ed. We'll get it going. We would love to talk to you more often.
Yeah, be amazing and have a great day, guys.
You too, Vanessa. Thank you so much. Vanessa Demopoulos fighting April 5th at the UFC Apex. There we go.
Oh, she was a blast. Yeah. Now, we might have to have Jackie come on the show and tell her side of the story since we got a little bit heated at the very beginning. I think that I honestly don't